Hey, what's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? I am back and we are live. And today is episode 98 of my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. I am your high performance mindset coach, Jay Hollingshed, and I am here to help you get out of your own head and into your own success. Thank you so much for tuning in. And my brother's already on point. I think, like I said, I think he's on standby or something. I don't know what it is, but my brother's already watching. I appreciate you, AJ. I love you, man. Jackie Kirksey, thank you for tuning in. Dale Brown, you got the front row seat as well. All of my front row seat people, thank you. Kaneen White, K9, the chef himself. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Excuse me, I'm coming down with something. I don't know what it is, but we're not going to claim that. We're going to get that out of here because that sounds like some negative self-talk, which is today's topic, positive and negative self-talk. As I said earlier, this is episode 98 of 365 of my 7 pillars of mental performance. This is Saturday, day 7. We're discussing pillar number 7, which is positive and negative self-talk. Let me get my thank yous out the way. My wife is tuning in as well. What's up, babe? She's all the way in Louisville, Kentucky right now with my youngest, and they're killing the game right now. So, hey, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, if you're watching this for the first time, thank you for tuning in. All of those that want to watch this episode in its entirety, it will be on my YouTube channel, Jay Hollingshed at YouTube. Feel free to like, share, tag, and bless somebody else with this good information, okay? Because we're trying to change lives and change minds as well. Also, D'Angela Michelle, thank you for tuning in. Now, let's get right into the meat of the situation. Positive and negative self-talk. Today I did something a little different. I did not go and do a lot of research, but I went with what we deal with every day, what we see every day, what we hear and feel every single day. I went with what we experience. So I'm going to relate that and bring that home, okay? So, first things first. What is what is self-talk? What is self-talk? I took some notes on my own writing, and so here we go. The inner dialogue we have with ourselves or the conversations that we have in our minds is known as our self-talk. Now, it can be positive, it can be negative, but it is the most influential voice that we will ever listen to. Why? Because it's always going. It's constantly talking. The only time we don't hear it is when we are asleep. That is the only time that the voice is not talking to us. And that's not just a regular voice. A lot of people get that mixed up. That's not our conscious. That's our psyche. It is our psyche, the voice of our psyche that's talking to us. So whenever we're asleep, we don't hear it. When we're awake, it's always going. Blah, 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 blah. Constantly going. Almost nagging. But we can change that from a nag to something positive, and I'm going to show you how. Now, negative self-talk. We already have enough negative people repeatedly shooting down our hopes. They repeatedly shoot down our dreams, our aspirations. They shoot down our goals. And so why would you want to join in with them and discouraging yourself? That's not something you want to do. And so that's giving in to the negative self-talk that you hear from your psyche. Now, it's already been proven that 85% of us, or up to 85% of the self-talk that we have, or the self-talk that goes on in our psyche, is negative. So that's not something we want to feed into. But with that kind of knowledge, we should be encouraging ourselves every chance we get and not discouraging ourselves. Think about it. If it's already been proven through case studies that 85% of our self-talk is negative, it's going to take another 85% just to balance that out and bring it to a neutral state. So you got to get it to 86 or above to even start to feel the positive effects or the effects of the positive self-talk. Now, to do that, you got to pour in a lot of good talking to yourself, okay? You got to program this mind of yours with a lot of positive affirmations. Now, when I said I'm going to bring this home with what we deal with every day, where does most of our negative self-talk come from? Well, a lot of it comes from, I'm not going to say most, I'm going to say a lot of it. A lot of it comes from those who are closest to us, those that we are around every single day, those we have, we spend time with every day. That's family and that's friends. That's where a lot of our negative self-talk comes from. A lot of the discouragement and a lot of the put downs and shooting downs of your hopes and dreams and aspirations and your goals, they come from family and friends. Why? Because there's a comfort zone there. Everybody is used to everybody being right where they are, even keel. Everybody's on the same level. But the minute you want to rise up a little bit and do better for yourself, put a little personal development on there and keep growing and getting better and better and better and better. Look at the gap. That's a big gap. Now you're leaving them behind. They're feeling uncomfortable. They don't want you up here. They want you down here with them. So they're going to discourage you. It's second nature. I'm going to bring you back down to me. That crabs in a barrel syndrome that you hear all the time. That's what that is. So your family and friends are ones that bring in a lot of the negative self-talk. And so when you see somebody coming, like family or friends or someone you're around all the time, and you pretty much know that they're going to strike up a conversation with you, I recommend you immediately, before they get to you, you start encouraging yourself, just feeding yourself positive words, just building yourself up. That's what you need to do. Before they possibly drop off this truckload of negativity, this truckload of pessimism, before they drop that on you. And when you do that, you are literally arming yourself with optimism, preparing you for that negative sucker punch that you usually don't see coming. So, I got an example of some positive self-talk. When I mention this guy's name, everybody's going to say, oh man, dude, you for real, that's it. He the truth. Check this out. Muhammad Ali, the late great Muhammad Ali. You talk about positive self-talk, man. Muhammad Ali, the greatest example I know for positive self-talk. His positive self-talk was so bold, his positive self-talk was so powerful that it couldn't stay in his head. It came out, it audibly came out of his mouth. And he didn't care where he said it, who he said it to, who he told, or how they felt about it, because it was all for him. He didn't care what they thought. His audible proclamation to the world was that I'm the greatest of all times. That's Muhammad Ali. And he yelled that out. Talk about positive self-talk. Man, that was it. That was lit. That was it. The whole nine. Muhammad Ali. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He would say things like, I murdered a brick. I handcuffed lightning. I moved so fast I made medicine sick. Things like that. That's where his mind was, on that level of positivity. Doing things that are physically impossible, but the positive vibes from that fed him so much to where not only did he believe he was the greatest, but he said it so much, so loud and so bold and so confident with it that the world started calling him the greatest. And here's the thing, that was his affirmation. That was his declaration. You hear a lot of times about having positive affirmations to feed yourself and pour into yourself. Well, Muhammad Ali was the greatest at having positive affirmations and using them to his advantage. He used them so much that his opponents started to believe what he said and wasn't even thinking about themselves. That's what I'm talking about. And here's the psychological process, what goes on in your mind or in your head when you work with the positive affirmations. When you repeat them so much, that repetitive process is working in here. And as I state all the time, the body always follows the mind. So when the body follows the mind, or if the body follows the mind, you're thinking positive, you're believing positive, you're saying positive, it's processing up here as positive. Your mind is going to act out the positivity. You will become what you think. You hear that all the time. As a man thinketh, so is he. We hear that all the time. So his actions backed up his mindset, and the world believed him and they called him the greatest. Now, Be prepared for the I guess the balancing of it, because there's two sides to everything. You throwing out all this positivity, well, there's going to be some negativity coming back on that same level, on that same level of energy you're putting out. That's what's going to come back. Why? Because the world will test you. They will test you just to see if you are who you say you are, if you are the person you are acting out to be. They're going to push you. They're going to test you. You keep saying you're the greatest. You keep saying you're the greatest. Trust me, you will have haters out there that's going to be putting you down, talking bad to you. They will try you. They will test you because your self-esteem is higher than theirs. And basically, they are frustrated with themselves because they haven't done what you've done. They don't believe within themselves enough of themselves to put themselves on the level where you are. So when you're doing that, yeah, that's going to bring out that jealousy, that envy, and that hatred. So they're going to test you. And that's when you need your positive self-talk more than anything else. Because they're not just going to throw rocks at you. Really? Nah, they throwing stones. As we say back home in Memphis or back in the South, they're going to throw them haymakers at you. So you got to be prepared, be ready. So when they come with the negativity, like I said earlier, arm yourself with positivity. Just go ahead and load up on it, because they're coming with that sucker punch of negativity and they're coming right at you with it. So your positive self-talk, keep that under control. You got to keep pouring it in. We got to balance out. We got to get up to 85+% on that positive self-talk. Now, if your self-talk has bullied you to the point to where it's negative and it has bullied you out of your own success, feel free to hit me up. I got a curriculum and a plan to help you with your positive, help you correct that negative self-talk, reverse it, turn it into positive. And it's a simple process, but the discipline is where it takes the work. And I'm here as your accountability partner and can coach you through that process. And like I said, you got to keep it up here. You got to keep it up here and keep it smart, keep it tight, keep it positive. The more positive you are, the more positive you put in, the more positivity that will come out. So that's all that I have right now for this episode 98 of 365 of my 7 pillars of mental performance. This is Jay Hollingshed, your high performance mindset coach. Thanking you so much for tuning in, and let me hit up everybody who was tuned in during the broadcast while I was talking. Let me see. D'Angela Michelle, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Who else we got? My frat brother Frank D. Boom, I see you, man. I see you. I appreciate you. My man Big Frank, firefighter extraordinaire. I appreciate you. Danella Hicks, thank you for watching. Bless you, my sister. Thank you so much. Thank you all again. Watch it on repeat. Go to my YouTube, share it, bless someone with it. And if you like what you heard, feel free to comment below. If you have any ideas of anything you want me to talk about that can be a blessing to you in this broadcast, feel free to talk about it. Damian Pearson, I didn't skip over you, bro. I see you. I appreciate you too, man. My Masonic brother, Damian Pearson, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, representing Orange Mound Lodge number 357. As always, be well, stay blessed, and through love, be a blessing. God bless.